Day 1. Homecoming. Oh, here we go. This is the beginning of the actual game this time. The tracks take a sudden dive, leaving the surface behind. Casting an artificial light across the tunnel walls, the train makes its way through the darkness. The car creaks around me. Man-made lights pass by at regular intervals. The vibration through the seat falls me into reflection on this short little journey. It's early, 6:33 a.m. 30 minutes have come and gone since I got on this train. That's how long it's been since I said goodbye to the people who took care of me all this time. How I react to this probably says a lot about me as a person. I'm sure some people might feel sad and wish they could have stayed longer. Others would accept it without a second thought. I wonder which side I fall on. I realize after a moment that I don't really feel either. I'm the only one sitting on the 8-seater bench. The seats in front of me are empty. There are only a couple of other people on the train, including a sleeping man in a suit on the bench next to mine, and a woman standing in front of the door. It may be early, but it feels particularly empty today. The noise from outside is strangely muted, but maybe I'm just lost in thought. The train vaguely reminds me of a spaceship traveling through the darkness of outer space. No sound can reach it out here. The only things here are my stupid daydreams, the sound of my heart beating, and my memories from an hour ago. It came like a bolt from the blue. Makihisa Tono has died. Shiki Tono is to return to the Tono household immediately. The first contact I have had from my family in 7 years, and that's how it goes? The Tono family's word is final. I'm still a student, and they pay for all my expenses. But choosing to return to the mansion today instead of yesterday was my one act of defiance. I just wanted to stay a little longer at the home where I'd spend so much of my time, of my life. It was all I could do for the family that took me in and treated me like their own. Thank you for breakfast. It was delicious. I finish my meal and leave the table before the sun even rises. After taking one final glance at my room, I clap my hands together in thanks. It's not much for all the time I've stayed here, but I don't want to leave anything unsaid. I led a happy life here. That's what I want to carry away with me. Keiko saw me off alone as I left the Arima household. Or Arima? Probably. I asked to leave quietly, without waking the others. Thank you for everything. Give my regards to Dad and Miyako for me. 7 years. The woman who had acted as my mother in that time looked terribly sad. I never once thought I'd see her like this. Oh! Hold on. I accidentally pressed rewind on that. What? Hold on. I didn't think you could do that. Like, life may be hard at the Tono Mansion, but you'll be okay, understand? Don't overdo it. Make sure to look after your health first and foremost. I take her words of encouragement to heart. My time spent with them was peaceful. I just hope I didn't cause the Arimas too much trouble during my time with them. It's been 7 years. I've had plenty of time to recover. I'm a lot sturdier than I look, you know. Yes, you're right. The Tonos are quite the unusual family, but you're not one to let that bother you. You've always been a strong boy. She smiles through her sadness and I smile back. I'm happy that she still considers me to be her child. I think you're giving me a little too much credit. Well, I should get going. Take care, Mom. Goodbye, Shiki. Take care. I didn't even realize they were speaking until now, but yeah. Keiko knows that I won't be coming back. She sends me off with tears in the corners of her eyes. That was just 40 minutes ago. That moment marked the end of my previous life, and the start to my new one. The view outside shifts slowly. We must have crossed the river that separates the suburban Yashirogi and arrived in the city of Soya. The train begins its return climb to the surface. I can feel the gentle incline. Sorry, I'm just finishing up this. A bright light shines through, piercing my eyes, which had grown accustomed to the artificial dimness of the subway. The train sweeps toward the city. The majority of its inhabitants are still asleep. Outside, air is chilly. A fall morning in the month of October. The heat of summer is little more than a faint memory now. Yes, indeed. I've watched this same view nearly every day for 1.5 years now. But this is the last time I'll be taking this train to school. Memories of the past 7 years rush by like the scenery outside the window. I survived a terrible injury that would have killed most 10-year-olds. I met the woman that would become my master, my mentor in life. I went to live with the Arima family, and now I'm halfway through my 2nd year. The thing Master feared might happen when we parted never came to pass, and as long as I have these glasses on, I don't have to worry about seeing those lines again. And so, Shiki Tono has led an ordinary, though at times difficult, life. That all changes today. There's nothing major like feeling I don't belong or anything like that. I just don't feel right going back to the way things were before. Having lived a normal life these past few years, the Tono family's way of doing things just seems like a pain, or at least more trouble than it's worth.
だいたい学校より広い洋館とか想像つかないんですけど。
I'm surprised I was able to handle it when I was a child. The thought of going back to that old-fashioned way of life is daunting, to say the least. The train stops at a large station for a few minutes. The local line I'm taking has to wait for the express to pass. The platform is empty. Usually I would expect to see morning commuters in suits on their way to work, but it's particularly quiet today. The express passes by on the neighboring rails. Thank you for your patience. The next stop is... An announcement I've heard hundreds of times plays. The door closes with a hiss of air. I see that there are 4 stations left to Soya Station, the station where my school... Huh? Oh?
危うく首が飛ぶところでした。
Oh, that's one of the heroines in this game. A girl wearing my school's uniform slips through the automatic doors as they close. Her ribbon is green, so she must be a 3rd year. I feel like I've seen her before. The bag she's holding in her hands must contain things for her club activities. Our eyes meet for a moment. The girl continues to stare at me. Just when I notice that she's walked closer.
おはようございます。朝からお騒がせしてごめんなさい。
あ、いえ、こっちこそすいません。ジロジロ見ちゃって。
The way she smiles has me apologizing almost by reflex.
いえいえ、目立つようなことをした私に非があるんです。先輩として恥ずかしいところを見せてしまいました。でも、朝は弱いって話、本当なんですね。
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Huh. The girl laughs lightly. I'm distracted by her laughter and...
ほら、私ですよ。先週会ったばっかりなのに、もう忘れちゃったんですか？
Oh?
あれ？シエル先輩。
In an instant, my memory is jolted awake. I knew she felt familiar. I've crossed paths with her a number of times. And now that I think about it, there's probably not a person in the whole school who doesn't know Ciel. Soya High's most revered 3rd year. Happy to offer advice to any distraught 1st year. Eager to solve the woes of any troubled 2nd year. And quick to save underclassmen from the ire of the 3rd years. Some students call her the true student council president, considering most people rely on her over the teachers of our actual student council. Or our actual student council. Oh yeah. She even helped me with something just last week. Man, how out of it am I? Ciel is right about how I hate mornings, but thinking about returning home for the first time in 7 years must be killing my brain cells. Oh, this is our first choice. Wait, hold on. Is there a way to save? There we go! Let's go, the Y button. I'm gonna save here. Obviously, if we're trying to make the right choice, we have to save right before we answer. Oh? Okay, so... Answer 1. I can't think of a single thing to say. Or, I think of something to ask. Or 3. I take the opportunity to admire what's in front of me. Right.